Yo, what's everybody? Thank you. And whenever Ramin talks, as soon as we go online, I think I'm automatically not online, but we are. All right, welcome everybody. I'm just logging into my system over here. Thank you for joining us as we get ready for an exciting earnings report. I think it's going to be pretty good. Toll Brothers, I'm looking forward to that. This chair is nice and high up here. It might be a little bit off-centered, but that's okay. Yeah, we also have Brian Shannon coming through. Thank you so much for staying late with us. Is it that late? It's 4 o'clock. It is the close of the markets. We'll hit some bang. Nope, Stream Deck not up. Got to load that up as well. All right, so good day today overall. The market was a little bit tricky there at the end, I felt like, with some movement up and down, and then the Qs eventually at the end of the day wind up green. Funny little look. There it goes. Now we hit the bang. There it is. Funny little look today because we don't have too many green names here as we look through our ETF board and we look at the sector recap. Like we have TLT, that's not really a sector there, that's the Treasury. We like to look at that, the 20-year Treasury. So it's a nice little move to the upside, so that's pretty good. For those of you that have been buying that bottom there, I think it was Ackman that, was it Ackman? I think closed out his short. You've seen a nice little move back up to the upside for the TLT. And then there it is, man, I don't know why I have XLK and the Qs on here. Both are technology. Again, this is an ETF. That's why we have it on there. The Qs, of course, tracks the whole NASDAQ 100 proper. So right there, 0.2% up for the NASDAQ. The only green market here today. We have a bunch that are kind of hovering, man. The SMH flat today. UNG pretty flat as, wow. And this is why I didn't, Sharif always says that I grilled him on this. I did not. I was just asking him where his out was on UNG, and he told me that bottom, so he's now out. As that breaks back down below 6, into 5 and change, look at gas. And again, this is what I said to Sharif. He's like, I'm in it because possible cold winter. And I said, actually, they're expecting a warm winter, but that doesn't necessarily, trades aren't that obvious. You know, you can't necessarily just say, hey, winter's coming, therefore go long oil, go long gas. We've seen that trade blow up. That hasn't worked out. So there it goes, UNG to the downside. Oh, I'm not logged into the show right now. I'm going to call up YouTube and say what's up to everybody. Thank you so much if you're here. Make sure you hit, well, if you're here, I guess you're hearing this. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe, as we'll do a little bit of a roll call right now. Why not? As we just open it up right now. Who's here with me? It's Ponzi Fonzie's here. That's good. What's up to Damien is here. Roger's here. Rainmaker's here. Winter equals cold. That is correct. And I said that to my wife last night. I'm like, man, I'm cold. And it's December 5th. So that makes sense. So we're down for that. It's actually not even that cold here right now. Checks my Apple wearable. It's 2 degrees Celsius. So you're looking at about 35 degrees Fahrenheit or so. Let's go, says Ryan. What's up, Ryan? What's up, Michael Lloyd? What's up, Pastor? Hey, you know what? Let's see how much luck we're having. Let's spin 200 right now on here. Spin 200. Let's see if that's going. What's up, Professor Love? Hey, it's a Jordan Love era right now. Shout out to that as we go. Did I just win? What's up, Joseph? Everybody there as well. Can I? Oh, I don't think Streamlabs is. Oh, Michael Lloyd gets the guys going. Boo. We go. Bell, rocket. Okay, let's push this to the side and talk about that later. Shout out to everybody that's here with me, man. Real traders stay late and real traders watch the Benzinga Pro platform right now. I have the Zoom meeting. I got to leave this meeting, guys. Zoom just popped up on my screen. I don't know if I just kicked out Brian or not. I don't know if he's here. All right, there it is right now. Let's see if anything reported earlier. Yext reported. What's Yext, they say? I don't know, what's next? Not Yext. All right, PayPal, okay, none of them reporting yet. We have on board, we're looking for MongoDB and Toll Brothers. So we will see if they come through. I wrote down TOLL, that's not right, it's Toll, right? TOL, isn't that right? Yeah, Toll. Can you go fix that? On my board over there, it's the second or third tab. It says TOLL, but it's supposed to be TOL. So Toll Brothers is what we're looking for. The name is TOLL, but the symbol is TOL. So we'll wait for that. If you could see it there on the second or third tab. Thank you so much for that. But let's quickly go over what's been happening there today. All right, there's the retail names, a little bit of a downside action. You know what I want to talk about in retail? I didn't actually notice this name, and it's going to be part of Sean's tweets, which is coming back later there. Close. I see. Did you find it yet, Fabian? It's just go to Chrome. No, only one thing open, but bunch of tabs. The big one. He'll find it. Okay, we'll not worry about it. Thank you, Ramin. I get obsessed with things, so thank you, Ramin, for putting me back on track right now. All right, look at Starbucks. This was really strange to me, man. I did not see this move over the last little while. From 107, we have about 13 or 14 straight down days for Starbucks. So again, I feel like some of the talk here is going to be China related, as China's been having some issues, obviously. We got a downgrade with China today. So yeah, back in there for Starbucks. I want to buy this, man. We talked about it. This is a weekly. Let me just call up a daily. Where is that 200 period moving average? We're well under it. Okay, so no, I'd like to see it come back now into 90 bucks. Normally I use the 200 period as some kind of support, but today, nah, there it goes to the downside. XLE is actually holding out okay right at the 200 period moving average as we worry. And again, retail's down. We have GameStop down today. We had Carvana down. We had Foot Locker and Nike, some of those names pulling back today, helping out the retail side of things. But there it is right there. XLE making a move back as well. Watch out for this break. 81.80 coming in on XLE. That's not looking very good. TAN, okay, so we had SolarEdge come out of the S&P the other day due to Uber. It's not out yet, but announced that they're coming out. It's actually Friday the 15th when that index action will happen. So you're going to get a lot of action in SEDG because that, although was only included in the S&P 500 about 2 years ago, coming out immediately after 5 consecutive negative quarters, being now joined with Uber with 5 consecutive positive EBITDA quarters. You can join on that news. IWM. So again, if you're looking for some weakness, I feel like as we talk more about rates, we actually called up the Fed rate tool. Let's look at that right now. Oh, first of all, did anything come out net? Oh, MongoDB is now out. So here's MDB. Let's see where this one reports into. Again, daily at the highs. Nice move back in for Mongo. Now crashing. Oh, I guess this is a decent crash. From 440 we just touched into 400. It's down 10% after a nice day for MDB, but it just ran right into its own resistance today up at 440. Comes back in. Let's check the Q for MDB right now. Okay, Dave & Buster's, nice little move for there. We can talk about them. There it is. Sees Q4 adjusted, so this is their forward look, actually positive. 44 to 46 versus 47. That's actually a nice forward look. Maybe we do get back, but here it is right now. Adjusted Q3, 96 versus 50. So that's a beat. Sales also a beat. So what's up with that? Downside number here for MDB. Upside numbers, but downside move there for Mongo. So we'll have to find out more about it. I'm not going to sit here and go through the numbers. We're just going to talk about price action. It does look like they adjusted higher. There's Dropbox coming through again here. Oh no, this is Box, not Dropbox coming through. Or is Box, is that Dropbox? Quickly, hold on a second here. No, just Box. Drop is what? Drop? Yeah. No, that's Drop. No, I think Box is Dropbox. Anyways, that also making a move down into $25. Yuck. Not a great report here for some of these names coming through today. I just got updated on the ask about when, okay, so unfortunately we are getting delays on our platform for options trading. So I just got that note, just came in. So I do apologize for that coming through, but there it is, Box, downside. I think that is Dropbox because that is the symbol there. I feel like they might have changed that. Is it Dropbox? Okay, we'll get over that anyways in a second there. Check out our chat to see if anybody's in there. Sentinel-1 jumping as well. Okay, there it is, right? So nice little move to the downside here for them. There's MongoDB. Still sees higher, so I feel like that's going to be a better name at some point. Dave & Buster's, that quarter, 12 cents in line, minus 12. Let's just see what's going on with Play right now. Quickly, PLAY, to see what's going on with these guys. Downside as well. Not a couple good reports coming through here. We don't like to see that as we're net long everything. FXI, okay, the Chinese name continues to make these downside push. Not great news there coming through for FXI as it has a nice little downside push there, making that move in. So we'll have to watch out for China. This is the large cap ETF. You could see Alibaba today can't get out of its way. A brand new 52-week low every single time we hit a low here, it's a brand new 52 week. This goes back to October. So if you're going to make that low, that's $63. Those are the market lows before we started to bounce back up. And what a great recovery it was for Alibaba as well. They doubled up from that bottom, but looks like we're coming back in on that. NIO had themselves a little bit of a day today as well, being up, actually only closes up 1%, but they started the day off really nice as well. Maybe we'll go back over to a 10-minute chart before fading out the rest of the day. There it is. Again, nice move. We said fade 8. Missed that fill. Nice move back in. Watch out for this 735, 736 tomorrow coming through for that one. But okay, that's a couple looks here today. XHB as we await Toll Brothers. So here is the housing ETF with DHR, Lennar, all these names in there. Nice little topside move as we wait for Toll Brothers. TOL, the name is TOLL, we talked about that. Not out yet, thanks Fabian for updating that one as we go. But right here, Toll Brothers coming into play. We'll wait for that report, and we will also wait for Brian Shannon to come through as well at some point. Thank you so much for that. Brian, I want to talk to Brian about a few things. We do want to look at the rise up in Ethereum. Nice move here for Ether up to 1860. This is the Ethereum Grayscale Trust. So there's that. And then what I was trading today was GBTC. Again, an extended move as Bitcoin touches 43.8 today before a little bit of a pullback. I don't have BTC up right here. We could probably search it though and get the chart on our Benzinga platform. Why not? For Bitcoin, as we can search out for that as we find out some news here on BTC here today. Yeah, Bitcoin bull frenzy hits 44K as futures market prices in a 10 to 12% rise into 2024. So more to come here. Dogecoin as well, moving back up. Ooh, 10 years since Dogecoin was minted. Nice move. That's 10 years, really. Wow. Nice move up there for Bitcoin and for Doge and the rest. What I was getting at about the Fed there, we had Frank Caberna come on. Look, this is what it is. I'm going to take a drink here quickly as Hydration Nation. Fuel up. Ramin doesn't have it anymore. I got to put it over here. All right. January. Interesting little take right here. There is now a 15% chance that we actually get a cut in January. December, January. I like. Possible move there. March. This is where consensus, or I couldn't say consensus, but majority, now 55% that we do get that cut coming through. That's the target rate come March. And then May is when it really starts to get juicy. And I've done this. It's 3 to 4 rate cuts projected for next year as we extend it all out. Let's go over to the December of 24. This is where there's a 30% chance that a year from now, we are 125, you heard me right, 125 basis points lower. That's what the market's pricing in right here, possibly 100.5 right there, 375 to 4. So pricing in a nice little cut heading into next year this is the end of next year. So, hey, will everything look different? Will Bitcoin look different a year from now? Of course. Will rates look different? Yes. Everything's going to look different, especially our markets there today. Today, not a great day. XLU. I like utilities. Again, nice move off the bottom, but still trying to hit above the 200 period moving average. What else? USO, yuck. I filled up this morning. Good gas price. I think it was like $1.38 a liter, which is pretty good. But $1.38 a liter, it's about 4 liters per gallon. Then you got to take in consideration that here in Canada, we also pay 38% premium on the exchange alone. But look at this, U.S. oil making a move down as energy does hit a little bit lower. Okay, again, nice report there for MongoDB. I see Brian's looking at this maybe a little bit. Maybe we could talk to him about some levels of concern for MongoDB. And if you're looking for VWAP, what is anchored VWAP? Man, do we have a guest for you. Let's bring him on. It's Brian Shannon's Trader Talk. Let's roll. Hey, Brian, thanks for coming back. How was your day?
You know, I was pretty quiet here today, Sean. I didn't really see a whole lot happening. Held on to a couple little things, got stopped out of some swing trades, but pretty inactive for me. Nothing like the way you go at it each day.
Yeah, today was funny. I was looking down and at one point I had like 5 positions. I said to myself, like, what? Like 2 of them were long, 3 of them were short. And I'm like, what am I doing? And it's just the charts didn't really line up for a big play today. So I agree with that. I was looking at GameStop. All right, you've hit a couple nice trades for traders, or at least given some nice levels, areas of interest, I'll call them, because you're on the show with me. Anything on MongoDB? I see your charts are open now. Anything we want to talk about there?
Someone asked me, who obviously is a fan of this show, who said, "Hey, Brian, do you have any levels similar to the one in Netflix?" And I said, "Sure." So I pointed out on Twitter that we have the anchored volume weighted average price from this gap right here on, what was that, November 7th, right, on this day right here. And that was our first level of interest where we had the potential to find some buyers. And if things got ugly, then the anchor from down here, that is the October 26th low, which we haven't hit. So right now, this seems, that 400, it's a round number as well. It's also where we have that 20-day moving average. So I think it kind of came into where it was supposed to. And now it's, you obviously can't trade it on a 30-minute chart here after hours. If you're going to trade it, you've got to go down to much shorter time frames. And let's actually take a look at that. Why don't I have that? Here we go. So yeah, so we've got, we can put an anchor from the report even and say the sellers are still in control. If the if this buyers can kind of do something like this and push it back up above that VWAP, and then that VWAP from the earnings report starts to cradle it, then who knows, maybe it's going to go and fully recover the way a couple of these have recently.
And you're amazing at drawing those lines so quickly like that. Mine look like chicken scratch. I need that program there on the TC2000. Brian, come on, you nailed that again on that anchor VWAP. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. The bottom just happened to be about 4 bills, and that's exactly what you hit it out to. I wanted to ask you a question about that anchored VWAP. When you anchored that there, was that, you kind of picked the middle of the range? Is that the open? I know there was a bottom wick there that I was looking at, because I know there's a lot of traders, because you've shown so many key levels off of an anchored VWAP. Can we go back to that? I see it was around 360 or so. There's your screen right there where you had the anchor. Yeah, right where that green. No, I think it was that green little note. Yeah, right there.
Right there.
Yeah, what is that? Is that the open, the close, the high, the low?
That is a great question, and it's one that I get a lot. So it looks like it's maybe anchored towards the middle in there.
Okay.
And, on some charting platforms like TradingView, they give you the option, do you want to anchor it from highs, or do you want to, it's actually not anchor from highs. The thing is that it's what it's measuring. Do you want to measure it from the high? So if people are looking at the high, they're just saying, I want the average of the volume at every single high here, or at every single low. And that's the wrong way to do it. What we want, the volume weighted average price gives us the average price for all volume is what we're looking for. So the most accurate way to set your scale is open, high, low, close divided by 4. That gives you all of the data. So often you'll see it is right around in that midpoint where it looks like it is. And that you will see, if you put that on a chart, I've done this before on a 1-minute time frame first thing in the morning.
Okay.
You'll see that little dot bouncing up and down as the actual VWAP changes.
I'm going to have to get some requests for an anchored VWAP there, because I don't have it on our platform here. And then I do have Trade Ideas, I know has it, of course, as you just mentioned there, and we also have eSignal. All right, Brian, I asked you to send me something here about either crypto and you mentioned Ethereum is something that you've been looking at. You're looking at that a little longer time frames than Bitcoin. So here's your chart. If you come over to my screen right now, Fabian, is that Fabian back there? All right. So right here we had the weekly. This is something that you tweeted out. Energy is building below the VWAP from the all-time high. So I'm not going to read this exactly, but here we go. There we go to the bottom there, 1560. I can see maybe we have a little bit of a base in and around 1900. Is this the gap fill that we're looking for, man? Is that 20, maybe 2400? This little green area now. Are we in a safety zone? And if so, is this our out right here at 1880 if we really felt like putting on a decent position right now in Ethereum?
Well, as you said, that was November 22nd, I think. And if you look at my screen now, we can look at
All
it
right.
updated. And that what I was looking at, Sean, is just a couple of anchored volume weighted average price levels. The weekly chart is on top here. And that red line is, of course, the anchor from that all-time high. The blue one was this other important high. So what we were looking at is we kept hammering away at that anchor from the all-time high, and we saw energy building with these higher lows. We had the 50-day moving average, that's that blue line, cross up through the 200-day moving average, or 10-week and 40-week. And now we're making a run for this 2,400 level. So as far as, an out goes, 1,800 is so far away at this point. The way I'm looking at it is I'm staggering stops up underneath these higher lows with the rising 5-day moving average, and I'm about to lighten up near that 2,400 level.
So yeah, no, I was just, my mistake there. They don't mute me, and I just said this is the best. I was looking at one of your tweets. I'm going to put up in a second right there. Okay, are you excited at all about the halving in Bitcoin? Is that something that, and I know we're talking about Ethereum a little bit, but we've had some experts on the show with Bitcoin, and I'm nowhere near that. Are you looking, again, just at a technical level, or do you sometimes wait for some of these events to take place? The halvings in May, that might be a little bit too long of a time frame for a trade like the one you were just explaining there.
Sure, and Adrian's probably the biggest expert you have
Okay.
on here as far as the crypto goes. He's great, but I'm aware of those. It's kind of similar to the news on equities each day when they
Right.
come in. I look at the headlines to see what's driving the headlines, but I don't get into the numbers and try to figure them out and think that my opinion matters. If the happening, I want to know that a key event is coming, like a jobs report or like Federal Reserve. I want to know when it comes, but I try not to have any opinion about what they're going to do, because one, even if I get the opinion of what they're going to do, if I get that right, it doesn't mean I'm going to get the price action right. So I just want to see how prices unfold around a key event, make sure that I'm aware of these events so I don't get blindsided and I'm just there like a dummy getting run over going, what happened? Was
Yeah.
there news? And it's something everyone was aware of.
I agree 100%. I mean, I don't think you can't, it's hard to trade around, like it's not a random event, but we don't know if what that's exactly going to do. Just stick to your price level. And I think that having stop orders and things like that, so super important. All right, what do we make of the NASDAQ here, Brian? Because honestly, we're spending a lot of time kind of at these summer highs in the NASDAQ. I have the triple Qs here. It's 390 and change. We can look at the contract itself, but I mean, I'm thinking that we're getting a little exhausted. You and I have talked about SMH and NVDA. I mean, NVIDIA came out with a great report. It's pulled back 10% from that day, $500, and you talked about nailing that level, and you did exactly that. But guess what? We're right there right now. We're back down to 450. We're bouncing off a 50-period moving average here on the daily. I'm interested in this name. I actually think there's a chance that we can come back into 400 again. Like, am I crazy to think that? And if it does, I want to be buying it. I still like to play, and I know we talk about technicals all the time, but I still think you need to have a stock or have an idea on a macro level, then go backwards and find an area of support. So for me, I'm looking to maybe nibble here around 450 and potentially load up around 400. Am I crazy to think that?
No, I think though, if we were to drop all the way down to 400, it would have more serious consequences
Right.
for the overall market. And that we're in this seasonal period. The trends are higher. We're above rising 50-day moving averages, 200-day moving averages, et cetera. So for now, I look at it as innocent until proven guilty. And when looking at the NASDAQ, for instance, as you know, my intermediate term, main indicator is that 5-day moving average, and we're below that. That's that orange line. We're below it, but I'm not bearish because the longer term time frame is still bullish. We're above, when we're holding this 20-day moving average, we've got a rising 50-day moving average. And that 20-day moving average can't, look at how far away we were at the same place just 2 weeks ago. And that is showing a nice time correction. There's still an underlying bid. Maybe it's not as aggressive, but we are starting to see that the buyers are showing a little bit of resilience in here. And I don't want to short it. So I want to, get aggressive when we have an alignment of trends. Right now, meaning we have an uptrend on the daily time frame and an uptrend on the shorter term time frame. These are the periods to push it. And then in here, we get more defensive. And I don't want to short. Maybe for day trades, I want to short in here, but I don't want to hold overnights because we can just as easily see that, kind of do this and rally back up and crush the shorts again.
Yeah, we talked about the put call ratio on some of these, and on the NASDAQ, I still believe favoring the short. So I still think that we could get squeezed upside. I feel bearish the last couple mornings. I think for day trades, I'm with that, but longer term trend, I do like what you're talking about right there. All right, Brian, I'm gonna let you go in a second, but not before we talk about this, because this is hilarious. This is what I was laughing at right here. Go follow at Alpha Trends. I thought this is great because you know what? And I know you said definitely not photoshopped, but the thing about it, it's not. Yeah, definitely not. It's just AI, right? But you could see this guy's hand. That's how I knew it. But the funny part about this, Brian, is I have the book right here right now. That could be my family, actually, because it wouldn't be surprised if I did that. I'm going to do a very similar picture to that on Christmas morning. I'm going to send it to you, and we're both going to retweet it. I think that would be hilarious. But this is the book now. It's anchored VWAP. And hey, get it under the Christmas tree. Still time. They can go find you at Alpha Trend. There it is, at Alpha Trends, all that. You can get it on Amazon as well. And here we go again. I mean, why not? Come over to my screen again. Get both books. Get both books. So there it is right now. You can clearly see she's out. Oh yeah, there's a book. Oh, it's open. It's open there. So she's reading it as we go. But again, hilarious stuff. A stocking stuffer nonetheless. I can never remember the title, so it's Maximum Trading Gains with Anchored VWAP. Where can they pick it up, Brian?
Amazon, and please don't do that to your family. I mean, if you can take the picture as a joke, but please don't read any of it to them on Christmas. That would just be cruel, Sean.
You know what I'm actually going to do, Brian? I'm actually going to I'm going to do this. Seriously, I'm going to take a video of it too. My wife sometimes watches this. I don't know why I'm talking lower because it doesn't really matter. She's not here right now, but I'm going to wrap it up and give it to her and then see what she says. And then once I'm kicked in the doghouse, I'll come see you and might need your couch. But all right.
You better have one of those goalie masks on.
Yeah, I have something. I have a couple other gifts for her she'll be happy with. So, who's your favorite? You watch hockey at all?
I'm not really much of a hockey fan. Sorry.
All right, no problem. Oh, let's ride though. You're a Broncos fan.
But they lost, so they're kind of done, I think, for this season.
Are they? I was just going to give some props there. I mean, new coach Sean Payton, Russell Wilson's having a fantastic year, and the Broncos are showing some life. They beat the Buffalo Bills, which is no small feat there. So, all right, it's Brian Shannon. Thank you so much for all your time. Everyone can go find you on at Alpha Trends there. We still have the Twitter symbol. We got to change it over to X. But thank you, Brian, once again, and we'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your week.
You got it. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, no problem. Thank you. That's Trader Talk, and that's Brian Shannon. I keep saying like one of my favorite guests, but honestly, I mean, everybody we have on the show is absolutely fantastic. And look at him, nailed that. I mean, honestly, that MongoDB, I mean, next time I'm going to ask him for a call for tomorrow. He's not making a call, but that anchored VWAP went all the way down to 4.0. I think it was like 398, something like that. Look where we went down to today. We went down to 400. Now you're to 413. So let's follow that. If you don't understand Anchor VWAP, definitely pick up that book. Thank you so much to Brian for coming through, man. That means a lot to me for sure. Okay, now the next topic here is Sean's tweet. So, all right. We talked about this on the main show. If you think this Bitcoin has room to run, you are right. I mean, this is not even an asset class yet, nor do I think it ever will be, but it's such a small portion of everything. Like, you can't even see it on here. I just thought this was interesting. I mean, when you mint 21 million Bitcoins, realistically, there's going to be a cap to how much we can expand on that. But the price, I mean, I think Kathy Wood's price target is 500,000. I don't necessarily think that's going to be right, but it's not that far away. 10x from here, it's far away, but we've seen stocks moon. I don't know if Bitcoin can do that or not, but there are some very, very exciting things. And again, world debt, 303 trillion. I mean, thanks for that. Gold, 12.2. So if you think Bitcoin and gold have similar value. I don't know. There, thanks to Ramin and Fabian for that one. That's pretty funny. But look at this. This is another one that I thought was pretty interesting. The top holdings in the S&P 500 index, right, by weight. Look at the top 10. They hold 32%. So we talk about the S&P 500. You can also look at the equal weight S&P 500, which is RESP. So if you believe that you want to be in the market, but you are very, very wary of all of these names, man, it's just the Mag 7 plus a few others. You know, Berkshire's in there. We know the problem with Berkshire is this should not be included, in my opinion, because Berkshire, half of their holdings are Microsoft. I think this should be kicked out. But UNH is legit. Everything else we talk about every other day, man. Tesla, Google, Meta. I just think this is a very, very dangerous situation. If the NASDAQ gives back, if anything happens in China, the big names will fall. So watch out for that. That's interesting. And then another post that I want to talk about, of course, this was not my post. I don't know oh, I guess we got to go back right there, was this. And we've already talked about this a little bit. I was taken by surprise by this. I just thought it was interesting. What's up with that? Starbucks, a nice move back in. I feel like we can buy some of this. I'd rather get it in the low 90s. I first started buying Starbucks in the 50s. It's had a nice move up. We know that. I just very, very surprised. They say it's declined for 11 straight days. There was a green day in there though. Its longest losing streak, look at this, 31-year history for Starbucks. 11 straight down days, give or take. So I feel like at some point, reversion to the mean, Starbucks has to go up a little bit. But hey, thank you so much for joining. We got to do a little bit of something called a roll call around here right now. So let's do that. Who's still with me? It's True Traders Stay Late. We talk about that all the time. I do also want to run through, thanks to Bears vs. Bulls in 1 second, everybody that super chatted us today. I will shout that out. There's only 5 or 6 names, so let's do that real quick. Hayes Records, Jimmy Mo. What up, Mo Jimmy? Part Shooter, Nick Dubb, and a happy birthday, a big one, to @JHaas. Big happy birthday to you, my friend, and thank you to Bears vs. Bulls for that one. But we got to do this, so we'll put some waves on here. Everyone wants to wave. Wave. Shout out to who's here with me. Let's go find out right now who's here. All right, it's Nunya Biz. Oh no, this is, I gotta zoom. All right, let's go a little bit higher. 150, whoa, 150% is too much. Let's go back, let's just do a hundy right now. Okay, who's here? It's Rich Naples, it's Pranya. What's up, Pranya? I think you tweeted at me today, shout out to you as well. What's up, Maurizio? A good friend of mine named Maurizio as well. Dr. Strange is in the building, Raju is here as well. Paulie D, Professor Dr. Love is here as well. Lava News, Trey Only. If it's not only, it's Trey Only. What's up to Alex Davis, Dr. Strange? Wuko is here. Again, Raju, the boring man. Never a boring day when we have the boring man. What's out to Dharmendra Patel as well. Howell Capital Trading. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. But what you can do for me is hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're thinking about turning this into a podcast. So therefore, maybe if you're not watching it live, you can catch it after that. But that would mean more work over there. I don't know if that was a cough. Is that Ramin? Who's over there? I can't see. It is Ramin. Yeah, she doesn't want this to turn into a podcast. Respect for staying late every day with me as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm coming home, my wife, and I love you. Thanks to Brian Shannon for coming on today. It's Trader TV Live. It's the market recap show, the best show on this network. See you guys tomorrow. Ciao.